Stan Gibilisco here, a ham radio operator and electronics hobbyist, a species that it would seem the greater forces are attempting to destroy. And you say, what the heck's this guy talking about now? Well, I got an email from a viewer who noticed something on page 67 of my book, Ham and Shortwave Radio for the Electronics Hobbyist. It has to do with receiving dirty electricity on a computer, displaying it using a program on a personal computer. And there's a description in there of how to prepare a certain Radio Shack part in order to function as an antenna, and I put that in quotes, for this little device. Well, he wanted me to send a photograph of the thing so that he would be sure to build it properly. And I thought, that's kind of weird. What good is a photograph going to do, you know? And I never took a photograph of the thing, and I threw that cord away a long time ago. So I decided today, well, maybe I have a good topic for a video. I can show you on a video how to do it. So I went down to my local Radio Shack store. They have promised me, by the way, that they will stay in business and their name will still be Radio Shack. But it became clear to me that what they're carrying is going to resemble what they used to carry just about as much as an orange resembles, well, you get my drift. Radio Shack is going extinct as far as a place where the electronics hobbyist can get small components. They ain't going to have those anymore. They're not going to be at Radio Shack anymore. If you want small components like that, resistors, capacitors, jacks, and specialty components like pieces of cable with jacks on the ends of them and things like that, if you want all that, you're going to have to order it through a mass supplier such as Jameco, Jameco is one of them. Mauser Electronics is another one of them. And you're going to have to do the same thing with all your resistors and capacitors and everything else, unless you're lucky enough to live in a town that has a store that caters to electronics hobbyists. Well, one of these days, and it isn't too far off, people are going to be asking, if you ask them, talk about electronics hobbyists, they say, electronics hobbyist. What the heck is that? Well, it's a person who wishes that he or she were treated a little bit better by a society that seems interested only in making money. Radio Shack is still going to exist. They're going to carry other kinds of stuff. They're going to carry computers for business mainly, and that's in my particular town. But they're not really going to be Radio Shack. They're just going to call themselves Radio Shack. Well, what am I getting at? I was going to try and make some videos about that particular subject, and found to my dismay that my junk box is probably the only place I'm going to find any part to make that video with. And it's amazing what's in that junk box. Every electronics hobbyist, what's that? Ought to have one. Well, I'm going to keep trying, my friend, to make a video of some kind or another that relates to this subject, but I'm beginning to learn that just getting something to plug that antenna into the computer with is going to be a major undertaking. My answer to your question is, can't help you. But that's another thing about electronics hobbyism. The electronics hobbyist is supposed to be able to improvise. Believe me, the electronics hobbyist of the future will have to improvise better than ever before. With that, I'm going to go search for that bloody jack and cord, see if I really threw it away or if I threw it in my junk box. But that thing is bottomless. It's full of junk and it's bottomless, and I could spend weeks looking for that thing. But I'll find it for you somehow or another. I'll help you somehow or another. But you're going to have to help yourself most of all. And that's my message to all electronics hobbyists. Stan Gibilisco signing off. I hope I made some sense there. God have mercy on the electronics hobbyist. For the avarice of America, the United States of avarice, shall have none. So long.